How's it going, folks? Mark from Like Minded Lunatics, and I'm here with the Like Minded Lunatics resident musician, Richard D. Hall, aka Ricky. If you're in the Austin area, you might have seen some of his work. He actually teaches at Texas State. Ricky, how are you?
Groovy. I'm doing good.
Awesome. So, Ricky and I have been reacting to bands from non-English speaking countries, metal bands, rock bands, and today we're going to take a look at Epica. Epic! And they're from, they're a Dutch band. The front woman is Simone Simmons. The band was started by Mark Janssen. The song is Storm the Sorrow.
Storm it!
So Ricky and I are going to have us a couple of beers. It's tradition to have a beer with our Friday night reaction video. I had some Shiner Oktoberfest left over and it matched Ricky's shirt. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get these. So folks, you don't have to have an alcoholic beverage, but let's get something in our system so we can cheers to the end of the week. Cheers, everybody.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Storm it.
Storm it. Storm the sorrow. Epica.
That's what it looks like when I try to paint the house.
Along the way, I find myself to be confined within you. No place for any other's mind to interfere. To grasp the meaning of it all, to overcome my limits, and dance away from any void and empty talks. Just tell me why. Just tell me how I can survive the storm.
So, man, there's a lot going on here.
Busy.
Yeah, it's a big sound.
It is.
And I know you're kind of a big sound type guy too. So in some of our original stuff like the Wade trilogy and things like that, we've got big scores kind of like this as well. What are your thoughts on hearing this?
It's great. It's great. I love all the different changes and textures, and she's got a great kind of delicate voice. I have a feeling she's going to tear it up in a minute. It's great.
So I know you know this reference. I don't know if the folks out there do. Just the initial first verse, she reminds me of Lorena McKennitt.
Oh, yeah.
She reminds me of Lorena
yeah.
McKennitt, like in The Mask and the Mirror and Mummer's Dance and some of those.
All that Celtic.
Yeah, and I know this
stuff.
is Dutch, but it does still have that Gaulish, Celtic-ish feel to it. Hopefully that doesn't offend anyone. Lorena McKennitt was an awesome, or is an awesome singer.
Leave yourself and look away from all that's right within you. Before your worries at the door and drift away.
Now, that looks like Adele.
Oh, kind of does, right?
Like, whoa, Adele.
And drift away. I tried to peer into the core, but could not storm the sorrow. My hollow heart has bled me dry, left me to stray another time.
So the lyrics are already fascinating to me. So the first verse, along the way I find myself to be confined within me. No place for any other's mind to interfere, to grasp the meaning of it all, to overcome my limits and dance away from any void and empty tones. What I like about that is to me, it's all kind of an internal struggle. So the storming of the sorrow, at least to me from this first verse, seems like it's an internal struggle that our protagonist is going through.
And it looks like the video is kind of mimicking that as well. Is this in her mind, or is this...
Yeah, and we have the black and white.
The black and white.
Almost,
I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah, almost the yin and yang, that binary relationship
Yeah.
between those two things. And then we see the black basically confining her, like manacles around her. Wow, that was an interesting verse too. I don't know if you'd call that a bridge. What is that, Ricky? This little verse here. So another time without a trace. Condemn me now, send me to hell, for I'm already falling.
Yeah, or a pre-verse to another verse to a pre-chorus. I mean, you could call it whatever.
Wow, but send me to hell. And the interesting thing there is the point of view, like, so that's an imperative, send me to hell. Who is supposed to send her to hell, right? There's no point of view there. Is it a you? Is it this person? Or is it an I? You know what I mean?
I don't know, sir.
That's interesting to me.
All right.
Let's swim beneath the dark. Realize the pain we live in. Demonize the need we relive. No, in my memories I'll dig deep enough to know centuries of dreams unended. Another minute here and tears when someone had betrayed.
All right, that's fascinating. So, in my memories, I'll dig deep enough to know centuries of dreams unending, another me that yielded tears when someone had betrayed. Yeah, this is 100% an inner struggle.
And 100% metal.
It is.
Deep and
Well, and that symphonic metal, and
Yeah.
that was one of the things I was going to ask you, and I'm not the first person to recognize this. Do you think that some of these European metal bands get that symphonic sound because of the deep history and tradition of orchestra and symphony there? Because I feel like this is fundamentally different than American metal.
which we had talked about before. You had mentioned is pretty blues based, because of like blues and jazz music in America. And I think I don't know, but I think that's a very interesting, educated way to articulate it. Is yeah, I mean Europe has a heavy duty classical. I mean Mozart, Beethoven, they're all from Europe. And
it doesn't seem as socially stratified as it is here. So here, when you say you're going to the orchestra or the symphony, normally that's a very specific social strata.
yeah,
Whereas I don't know if that's the same in Europe.
I don't think it is.
Whereas blues and rock would have been, I don't want to use like proletariat, but it would have been kind of like the working class music.
yeah, blue collar.
Yeah, so when I hear like, well, Malcolm Young, Angus Young, when I hear, even like Black Sabbath and stuff, I can hear the Beatles, I can hear Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, I can hear all those.
Yeah.
I don't hear that here.
Yeah.
No time should ever go to waste. It's not that complicated. You're free to live your life at ease. No more restraint. No heat for shadows on your way that try to steal your laughter. Your light will drive them away. Become the death.
Wow, she's almost consumed by it at this point.
I hope they have some good paint thinner to clean all that up.
That's right. I'm sure, hopefully this is all CGI. Can you imagine
Yeah.
doing this in the early 80s? Oh, gross.
Darker,
Yeah.
gooey.
Yeah, it's very kind of alien Prometheus-esque, isn't it?
Slimy.
That's right. They touched an alien they shouldn't have. And I think also like the way that they're progressing through this song feels more like movements in a symphony than it does like verses in a typical rock and roll blues rock song.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point.
And I can't remember the four parts of a symphony, but there are clear like, the rising action, the denouement.
Allegro, largo, scherzo, and molto allegro.
Shh, thank you, music teacher.
There we go.
Yeah. Woo! So I'm going to say I love death growls that do this, where we have a melodic voice, death growl back to melody. I mean, I love Slipknot and stuff like that, but the juxtaposition between that, I think for me makes it more powerful.
And I dug all the little, there was some great guitar licks in there.
Yes.
In between. Tearing it up.
Oh, she's clear now.
She took a bath.
Every other soul in life. No, in the
now it's almost like her outfit is a merger. It's not black, it's not white. It's kind of an off gray color, it looks like to me. Did she merge those two parts of herself? Because the death growl part was them killing, burning it, kill it, maim it. Why can't you see you need to be freed? And now it looks like maybe healed.
Or accepting all the...
Oh, that's a good word.
You got it, because I'm colorblind, so I'm like, that
Oh,
looks black
jeez.
to me, man. Keep going. What are you talking about?
Know your audience. Know your audience, Epica. This doesn't play well for the colorblind.
Yeah, man.
Reaching dreams unending, and nothing made it heal the tears when someone had betrayed. Someone
Some good production value on this thing. Wow. Man, I really enjoyed this one. Ricky, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I don't really know the band that well, so I want to listen more.
And this was different than like Ginger that we listened to and Nightwish. I feel like this had a more solid symphonic sound than those did. And I loved the juxtaposition between like the death growl, like I said, and then the melody.
And how you talked about it's almost like not verse, chorus. It's like different movements all kind of blended together. It's just kind of sweet of all these different styles and feels. And
Yeah, I
it's
think
great.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this one. I've been wanting to bring Ricky on and have him in person instead of just the music. So, hey, we have a website. You can check that out. We have a Facebook page. We've got Instagram. We've got Twitter. We're all over the place. Make sure you check out. What's your website, Ricky? What is that?
RICHallmusic.com.
RICHallmusic.com. Take a look at that. You can see some of Ricky's original work that's a lot more in depth than the LML stuff. All right, folks, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.